Hello, people. Okay, part three to my stroke and my hospital stay. I have a lot more to go over concerning spiritual aspects of the hospital that I experienced, and I want to throw it out there for you guys because it's pretty cool. All right, so since the last video, we're just getting into the winter storm. And the winter storm was a big storm out of BC that came across North America and froze out everybody. That night, the storm was coming at 6 o'clock. The TV, the cable in the hospital went out. Went out during the storm. Before the storm hit, it was just starting. It was just starting to storm, and it was just starting to storm, and the damn TV went out. So there you have that. And it didn't come back on until after Christmas. But third day during the cable outage, the cable on the TV was out. We would all sit in the lobby room. It's like a little lobby, and all the there's four of us, 6 people, and we would sit in the lobby room and talk because this is all we had to do. Other than that, you went to your room and you stared at the wall, which is not what we wanted to do. So we sat in there and we chatted, a bunch of us. And at one point, on the third day, the TV started shaking on the wall. Like violently, really. And the TV was on, this huge TV was on an arm that you could stretch out. You pull the TV off the wall and move it where you wanted it. This was one of those TVs, but it was always stuck against the wall. But this one time, the TV started shaking back and forth, literally. And I thought that was pretty odd because nothing else in the room was vibrating. So I know it wasn't an outside force that was causing the TV to vibrate. And I pointed it out to other people, and everybody else was seeing it, and they couldn't believe it either. And I knew what it was already. It was a ghost who was pissed off, or something. A force that was pissed off. The TV was still off. So when I pointed out, hey, look, guys, TV was shaking, literally, just like that. Okay, and that's the only time it did it. After that, we had 2 more days of it being off, TV being off, and that's the last time it did it. I only did it once. By that time, me and Joe, my roommate, he had hospital roommate. He was going through his shit, and I was going through mine. And I went in for a shower. During the day, and during my shower, I'm brushing my teeth and I'm showering and everything, and I hear this kid moaning, and that's all it did. He went, this kid, he'd moan. He did that about 4 or 5 times. I didn't pay too much attention to it. The next day, I'm in there again, showering. Joe was in his bed sleeping or resting, and I didn't shower. I just brushing my teeth and washing my face and getting the crap out. And I hear it. I start brushing my teeth and it's in front of me, and I hear it. And right on the other side of the wall is all the nurses in the hallway to the whole hospital. So the nurses running back and forth and up and down and everything on the other side of the wall. I'm in there brushing my teeth, and I hear uh, moaning on the other side of the wall, but there was nothing on the other side of the wall. Just like yesterday, the ghost kid, and there was a kid moaning. So I took it as I'm listening to it. Sorry, I'm listening to it, and then it stopped. Did a moan about 4 or 5 times, and different pitches, and duration was about the same length. Then I moved to my left, past me, and I heard it moan again as it moved, as it was moving. Really freaked me out. And then it was behind me, and I'm brushing my teeth, looking in the mirror, and it passed by me and moaning, and it was behind me now, outside the wall. I turned around, I'm brushing my teeth, and I'm hearing loud as day in my head, or outside my head, moaning. And I'm freaking out. I'm going, holy fuck. So I spit out my toothpaste. I washed my mouth. The moaning's still going on. It stopped by the time I got done brushing my teeth. But I opened the door and I looked out and I go, Joe. He goes, yeah, man. Do you hear moaning? You mean like a little kid moaning? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah. he goes, I thought I was the only one who heard it. And he said, no, I was the only one who heard it. And I go, I thought I was the only one who heard it. So me and him, we got talking, and he heard it. He didn't say too much about what he heard. He heard it just. You go, did you just hear moaning? Meaning what I heard in the bathroom. And he said yes. And I made him. I had to say moaning, but that confirms he's been hearing it the whole time. Now there's another thing that's been going on. Every once in a while, I'd be sitting there, I'd be eating lunch in a room or something, and I hear these ladies talking, whispering. It sounded like whispering, but if it was in normal life, normal verbal, it would be normal talking. But I could hear them as a whispering. Two or three ladies talking. And I noticed that at certain times with Joe in the room. Joe had to be there. And I just brushed it off. I can't fucking deal with this psycho shit anymore. So I brushed that off, and I'll leave that one for. Hold on. The moaning ghost. That was the last. That was the last day we heard of it. Oh no, we heard it a couple more times. The following days, the moaning ghost. Not as intense as it was that day. The next day, the whispering ghost. Two times. Hold on, I wrote it down. The whispering ghost. That happens after the shower assaults. Okay, so this happened. And I knew something was going on. I knew it. I could feel it. I could feel it. Or maybe it was just my paranoia. I don't know. But paranoia is a good thing for me, as far as I'm concerned. It saves you from getting in a lot of trouble. And I went and I proved it to Joe and myself. All right. This is how it went down. 7 o'clock, the vampire comes in. 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 a.m. Boom. The door opens up, and in comes the vampire. She's the one who takes her blood samples. Fuck. It's the worst thing in the world. The most traumatizing thing, or at least one of them, is the most traumatizing thing to have when you wake up, is a vampire sucking your blood out of your fucking body. She comes in, she sucks the blood out, she don't care about how you feel or what, and then she walks up. You're laying there, still dreaming, devastated, trying to figure out what the hell just happened. And that's been going on ever since I got there, so I was used to it. I was expecting it. And me and Joe, we used to make fun of her, call her the vampire. Anyway, besides that, right after that, the vampire, another chick will come in, another nurse will come in, and she'd take your blood pressure. She'd come in, take your blood pressure, give you your meds. Well, if they were required, or if she had them, she'd give them to you. If she didn't, she didn't. But she'd always take your blood pressure. And that wasn't as bad, but still, it's still 7 o'clock in the morning, you know. All you want to do is sleep and wake up, and then after that, another nurse comes in, and she goes, let me see, this one nurse, she came in once a week, and she, once every 2 days, 2 or 3 days, she'd come in, and she'd go, I gotta tell you about this nurse first. She had stroke, so her face was down, bent down, and she had a hump. She walked like this because she had a stroke, and she had a big hip, big ass, big left ass cheek, and she walked with a hunch, like a hunchback, but it was all stroke related. And she worked as a nurse. She was a stroke patient. She was a nurse, the stroke, but she's still good in her head, so she can work. So I'm like, well, fuck, whatever. I don't care. Do your thing, man. Good for you. Like, her stroke was 100 times worse than mine. So, fuck. I'm like, right on. Good for you, girl. But she came in one day, the second time. The first time I averted it. The first time she came in, week before, she tried this. And I thought it was a one-time thing. She comes in, and she barges in. She goes, she goes, I need you in the washroom, showering, and I need to take your clothes, and I'm going to wash your clothes. So here's the towels for you to shower and bathe. She goes, no, she didn't say that. She come in and said, I'm going to wash you, bathe you, and then I'm taking your clothes and washing your clothes. She said she's going to bathe me in the shower. I'm totally capable of shower. I said, yeah, I don't think so, lady. So she ends up going to the door, and I follow her, find out what the hell's going on. She goes, she goes, she goes, I gotta shower you. And I go, look, I ain't showering. I ain't showering. You can wash my clothes, but I ain't showering. And she goes, look, mister, I'm showering you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you get your fucking ass in there, undress, and shower. I'll be in a minute. And hand me your clothes. And she had all the towels and stuff. So she put the towels in the room, in the bathroom, and she closed the door. Just then, I'm still standing there looking in the mirror going, what the fuck am I going to do? Because I'm not showering with some fucking hunchback Notre Dame, hunchback fucking chick ordering me around. She comes back and she opens the door and she goes, you're supposed to be showering. And I go, I ain't showering. And she goes, well, I go, look, I had a shower yesterday, 2 times yesterday, and I did quite fine. She goes, you can't lock the door. And I had locked the door to take the shower. She got mad. She's pounding on the door. Pounding. Open the door. You're not allowed to lock the door. You're not allowed to lock the door. I go, I open the door. I'm totally naked. I'm standing there. So I took a towel and I put it down in front of my fucking nuts, holding it in front of my balls. I unlock the door. She opens it, and she ain't looking at me. She's looking at my nuts. I go, fucking right. That's all they wanted, to see my fucking nuts. This fucking old bag. And then another nurse pops around the corner, staring at my nuts. I'm like, what the fuck? And another nurse comes in. I got 3 fucking nurses staring at my balls. Each one of them's telling me what to do. The second nurse wanted my blood pressure. She goes, I'm here to take your blood pressure. I'm like, I can't fucking believe this. What the fuck is going on? And they're all ugly, fat, bow-eyed looking fucking nurses. And I don't know how to say it. So I'm standing there with this fucking wet towel in front of my balls. At this point, I don't even care. I'm just doing it to piss them off, see how far I can push them. I don't care if they see me naked. I don't really care. My fucking condition is I don't give a fuck about nothing. Fuck, I can't believe it. So she went. The one chick took my clothes out of the. I took my clothes off in the washroom or shower room. Gave them to the lady, the hunchback. She walked off after she got a view of me. The next nurse, she's given me for the second time today, within 5 minutes, my what is that called? Where they pump up your arm. Fuck, I can't remember the name of these things. She's taking my blood pressure. Taking my blood pressure again. The other chick is in there. She's talking to me, and she wants to wash my clothes. I thought you already had my clothes. I'm going, well, fucking look for them out there. I don't know where they are. A pair of pants, a shirt, shorts. That's all I got. And some socks. Really, that's all I got. So I'm arguing, standing there, Chick's taking my blood pressure. Another chick is yelling at me about my clothes. I'm holding my fucking groin in my crotch, covered in water, freezing my fucking ass off. How am I? And I'm like, I said to the nurses, I said, boy, you sure get your attention to the nurses when you get your fucking clothes off, don't you? Like that. And they all freaked out. They go, well, it's just the way the timing was. And I go, yeah, almost like it was a concerted effort on the fucking nurse's part. And I go, since when is it required that I have to have the door unlocked to take a shower? If I was clearly incapable of walking and standing and operating as a human being, I would need the door unlocked. But I don't. So take that bullshit out of here. And I go, I was in here yesterday and the day before, and I had 2 showers yesterday with the fucking door locked. And you didn't even fucking know about it. But you were out there. So don't fucking tell me your bullshit story. That's what I told. That's what I told. And I told him off. I go, there's no way, no fucking way, this chick with a stroke orders people to have a shower with the door unlocked. It's the second time in one day they come in, take my blood pressure, and I'm skyrocketing. My blood pressure has gone from sleep to fucking skyrocketing, nudity, rape, all within 15 minutes. I go, I don't know what you're going to get from this fucking blood pressure you're trying to achieve, but I don't think. I've been here 2 weeks and I never had a blood pressure taken standing in fucking shower with my hand in front of my balls with 3 fucking nurses pounding down the door trying to get a goddamn view of my balls. I go, when I'm standing there, she's. I'm like bitching at her. She's taking my blood pressure. I go, how are you going to get an accurate blood pressure like this? How are you going to get an accurate blood pressure? You know. I go, minus the trauma of the fucking vampire in the morning. 5 minutes later, you're in the shower getting fucking berated by fucking 3 nurses that have no reason to be here. None whatsoever. Fuck. So I threw out my fucking shorts for the one lady, the one nurse. She ran away. The blood pressure nurse, she got her blood pressure fucking second time. She was gone. The fucking mutant never came back. She was gone. And I told them all off. And not once did they see my fucking gear. Not once did they see my balls. I wouldn't give them that, but I didn't give a shit if it happened. Unbelievable, guys. Anyway, after that, I never did have a shower. I got dressed and came out. They all avoided me all day because I was on this shit. Then I went and told Jesus. I was thinking, something's fucking wrong. Something's fucking wrong with that. And I told Joe right after that, I said, Joe, I had 3 nurses with 3 different fucking bullshit stories, all trying to see me stand there with my balls hanging out. What's wrong with this picture? And he goes, fuck, man, that was incredible. He goes, I love the way you told him off. And I go, I'll fucking tell him off. I went then after Joe and asked another nurse, is it required that they have to view you while you shower? And they said, no, we respect people's privacy. That's paramount. Respecting people's privacy is paramount. The only way the only way is if you are incapable of showering or washing yourself. Then they wash you. They wash you in bed because you are incapable of showering. So they'll wash you in bed. She said, that's the only way. Other than that, we have to respect your privacy. I go, thank you very much. So I just blew the fucking shit right off that hunchback's bullshit that she has to watch me shower. So, or she was going to shower me. So I went and told Jesus, just spiritually, told him. He goes, okay, I'll check on it. I told him what happened. I didn't tell him. I told him, I did. I told him what happened with the scenario of the 3 nurses. He came back to me later that night and said, yeah, she's been accused of doing it before. And to other people. He also said she takes pictures, but she hasn't been caught yet. And she shares them with a group of other nurses. So, if you're a dead guy laying in a fucking hospital with your balls hanging out, and they rip your clothes off, and they take all your clothes off, she comes in to check on you, and you're out cold, sleeping, whatever, your balls are hanging out. She's taking pictures of you. Yeah, it's nice, eh? Shares them with her pornographic love nurses, whatever the fuck they're called. Battery of witches. Fuck. Anyway, so there you go. Mad Sambolanos, deranged sex cult of nurses. And I told the nurse, me and Joe told the nurse, the main nurse, the nice nurse, about what happened to us in the house for my showering, because none of it made any sense. And she just said, oh yeah, okay, all right, yeah. We said it was a hunchback, and well, we didn't say hunchback, but they all were like, yeah. She was like, yeah. Oh. So she was relating other things that have happened with the hunchback. And I didn't push it any further, but that happened. Now, so Whispering Ghosts. The last day I was here, I was listening to Whispering Ghosts. Now Joe's wife comes over to visit. We were eating breakfast. Joe was sitting there with his wife, and I was eating breakfast, looking out the window. And I could hear, as I'm looking out the window, I could hear Joe talking to his wife. But I could also hear 2 or 3 girls whispering. Finally, I got done eating, and I couldn't take it anymore. I just turned around and I said, hey, guys. You go, yeah. I go, excuse me. Do you hear whispering, girls? Do you hear a couple girls whispering? And his wife was wearing a mask, and she looked at me, and she goes, yeah. And I go, do you know what that whispering is, right? And she goes, I have an idea. And I go, there's spirits. There's spirits in here whispering. And she clammed up. She just, oh. So I went on to tell her, I've been listening to these spirits talking about this for a long, over, since Joe got here. These spirits have been hanging around with Joe talking. And they seem pretty intelligent, like literally talking medical stuff. And so I confirmed basically what she was hearing. I confirmed it with her, Joe's wife, and Joe. Joe, Joe's an alcoholic, died from Manitoba. That's what he looks like. He's just fucking crazy. And but he's not an alcoholic. He used to be. But fucking guy, man. Anyway, he confirmed he was hearing the moaning ghost. He was then hearing the whispering ghost, and it was real, 100% real. She listened to me. I told her what I knew. I said, well, there was one time the ghosts, the spirit females, said Joe's name. They said Joe's name, and that got my ears listening to them. And it was about his medical condition. So I think, I go, I'm not sure, but my feel is I can't see him. For the life of me, I can't see the lady. They're right here, but I can't see them. Right where my hands are, but I can't see them. I can't feel them. So they're out of phase, but their voices are down here. So they seem to be family orientated with Joe and you. They only come around when you're around, Joe's wife and Joe. But they're never around when it's just me and Joe. Not usually. So when you're around, they come. Joe's wife. When Joe's wife's around, they come. When that's when I hear it. I'm not here all the time. I don't want to hang out with Joe and his wife. So I'm usually watching TV in the other room. But more or less, that's when I hear them. And they said, okay. And Joe went home that day, and I went home that day, and better off for it. All right. So I'll make part 4 when I get a chance. I don't think there's going to be much more. Oh, there was one more thing. Right after the storm, during Christmas, I think, I woke up and I saw myself. It was like myself standing aside myself, but outside myself. And it was white entity. And it's clearly me, but it was a higher self of me. It was a higher self of me protecting me. He came down and protected me. And I had to make sure this, and I tried talking to him, but he wouldn't talk. He motioned through motion, motion. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I'm standing here looking, and I can see a white image of myself, but he was acting independently of me, but he was a part of me. And what I sensed was the higher self, the inner light of me, he was taking part. And he was pissed off that they'd taken my seeds, but he couldn't do nothing about it. He'd taken my seeds, so that's why he had to come down. And he was there. He was there for 4 days. I didn't know what to do. I go, why are you here? He said, protecting me from something. Protecting me from something. So I don't know what he was protecting me from, but something to do with the hospital. There was something going on in the hospital that he was keeping me out of. I don't know what it was. I asked him, he wouldn't tell me. And the hospital never, the hospital and all the nurses never approached me, never got any further than attacking me on that rape, on that fucking, not rape, that shower sex viewing thing. Other than that, that was the most oppressive fucking detail. But after that, he came and he stayed for 4 days. And he wouldn't tell me what it was about. He wouldn't talk to me at all. He'd motion to me, and I'd sense his response. But he was me. It was like he was coming down in my waist, into my waist, but he was coming out and he was separate and he was taller than me. And he was where our ego, I noticed where I separate from him is with the ego, swearing and cursing and dealing with bullshit of life on earth, where he was just solid detail. I envied him for as much as I understood. I did that. And I noticed he'd go out and he'd watch the nurses. He'd stand in front of the door. Like I would go to the door, but he'd be standing there with me, separate from me, and he'd be watching how it all plays out. And he'd tune into each person. But I was doing it also. But he was doing it better than me. I guess you can say that. It was really weird, but it was real shit. But he never told me what it was about. But he's protecting me from something. So hopefully it worked out. I don't know what it was. Okay, in part 4, if I make a part 4, just closing up of events at the hospital. All right, take care, guys.